Welcome back, world, to 1 Minute Legacy, where gaming history comes back to life. Today, we're taking a look at the horror franchise that went beyond the mind, Silent Hill 2. Developed by Konami's Team Silent and released in 2001 for the PlayStation 2, Silent Hill 2 arrived at a time when survival horror was dominated by action-heavy titles like Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. But Silent Hill 2 made a bold decision. It went in the opposite direction. Instead of focusing on combat, it let atmosphere and story speak for itself. It invited players to experience horror through imagery, symbolism, and psychological tension, touching on themes rooted in real human struggle. The original Silent Hill in 1999 focused heavily on cult mythology. This time, the team wanted something personal. Writer Hiroyuki Owaku shifted the narrative inward. You play as James Sunderland, grieving the death of his wife Mary. One day he receives a letter from her, asking him to meet her in Silent Hill, but she's been dead for 3 years. And that's where Silent Hill becomes more than a town. It isn't fixed evil, it manifests the psyche of whoever enters it. The horror is symbolic, forcing the player to interpret what's happening through James's fractured mind. Take Pyramid Head for example, not just a franchise mascot, but a physical representation of James's guilt and his subconscious desire for punishment. The game also features multiple endings, something rarely seen at this depth in 2001, and they aren't triggered by simple dialogue choices. They're based on your behavior, how often you examine certain items, how frequently you check on other characters, how long you let James remain injured. The game subtly tracks how you play, shaping an ending that reflects your psychological journey. During early development, James was originally more capable in combat. The team intentionally scaled that back. The awkward fighting system was deliberate. James isn't a trained soldier, he's an ordinary man. The clunkiness reinforces vulnerability and the fear of losing any encounter. Even the fog, now iconic, began as a technical solution to mask PlayStation 2 hardware limitations. It became one of horror's most recognizable atmospheric tools. The soundtrack was composed by Akira Yamaoka, blending industrial noise, ambient drones, and melancholic piano themes to create an atmosphere that felt both empty and oppressive. Silent Hill 2 drew heavy inspiration from psychological horror cinema, including films like Jacob's Ladder and the surrealism of David Lynch. Instead of copying other games, it leaned into film and literature, which is why its impact felt emotionally deep. While many horror games relied on jump scares and resource management, Silent Hill focused on emotional trauma, grief, repression, and ambiguity. More than 20 years later, it still stands as a benchmark for psychological horror.